Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Monday weekly briefing for Central North Carolina. My name is Brandon Locklear. I'm a lead forecaster here in the National Weather Service in Raleigh. We actually got a pretty short briefing here this week because it's actually a very quiet and tranquil weather pattern. Basically, we're going to be dominated by high pressure for most of the period. And we're going to be looking at dry conditions and very mild temperatures for the next week and possibly looks like even 2 weeks. The brief exception will be on Thursday night and on Friday, and that's going to be behind a backdoor cold front that's going to move through Thursday night. And there will be basically a 24-hour period of cooler temperatures, slightly below normal temperatures on Friday and Friday night. Right now, that backdoor cold front looks like it's going to be moisture deprived, so it's going to move through with very little precipitation and maybe not even a whole lot of cloudiness. And then that front on Saturday is going to return north as a warm front, and so we're going to be right back into the warm temperatures. So again, if I had to sum things up, quiet and very mild for the next week. So this should be a no surprise. As you can see, North Carolina's void of all the colored or the precipitation on these graphics. You can see on the 7-day, there's like a little green showing up. And to be honest with you, I think that is actually being a little optimistic because I'm really not seeing any precipitation east of the mountains over the next several days. It does look like as we get a little bit beyond the 7-day period, for those early planners, there is a cold front that's going to move in on Tuesday, and that looks like it could bring some light rain, but even that looks like it's going to be fairly, very light in terms of rainfall amounts. Again, no surprises here. We're not even expecting any thunder, much less severe weather, so very quiet on that front, as well as the excessive rainfall. If you look at how drought has been evolving over the winter time, and guess what? Today's February 28th, so this is the last day of meteorological winter. You see in February, from February 15th through February 22nd, we saw a slight expansion of D1 moderate drought conditions across the southern plain counties, including Sampson County. And my forecast is that another week of pretty much dry conditions. Look for that D1 to actually expand across the southern portions of North Carolina. Looking at the 8 to 14-day outlook, it looks like we're going to see much of the same, of very, very high probabilities of above normal temperatures across much of the eastern U.S. But what does look a little different for that week 2 period is maybe we'll start to see some decent rain chances in that 8 to 14-day outlook period. If we dig a little deeper and we look at the temperatures basically through today through March 15th, so through the first 2 weeks of March, and this is at the Raleigh-Durham, and this is one of our models we look at routinely. If you look at the top graphic there and you see that red line, that is actually what we call the normal max temperature for this time of year. So you can see at Raleigh, we should be somewhere between 55, warming up close to 60 in that 2-week period. That's the normal. That's what we've averaged over the last 30 years. But here's the forecast, and as you can see, look how well above normal we are throughout the next 2 weeks. You're looking at temperatures pretty much the entire period in the 60s and 70s. Just as important, let's look down here. The lower graphic is the actual min-T temperature. So here's what we should be averaging this time of year. It looks like temperatures basically in the mid-30s the first couple of days of March, and as we get into the second week, we're getting close to 40. Look how much above normal and look how much above freezing we are. So This past morning, we were around 32 degrees, and some places up across near the Virginia border saw some upper 20s. So basically, maybe tonight we'll be back down into the low 30s, but after that, there's no freezing temperatures on the horizon for the next 2 weeks. So again, a very mild period coming up. Go ahead and start advertising this next week. It kind of comes with the warmer temperatures. So spring's here and it's arriving, and with spring comes the threat of severe weather. So next week is our severe weather preparedness week. We will be sending out daily public information statements as well as some social media information. And I think probably one of the more important things here is put it on your calendar that for Wednesday, March 9th at 9:30 a.m., that will be the North Carolina State Tornado Drill. So quick summary, quiet and warm and very mild. So that's what you can expect. So if you're the outdoors type and you want to get out there, this next week's going to be a great opportunity. Again, next week is the North Carolina State Preparedness Severe Weather Preparedness Week.